Hey everyone, this is Kimberly Shipley. Right now, this is something I have felt led to talk to y'all about tonight. And this is what I'm going to call day one. Okay, as many of you know, and I won't mention this in pretty much every video or anything, but as many of you know, my husband passed away on Christmas Eve. And this is what got me to thinking. We're not promised tomorrow. He did not make it last year to Christmas Day. And we had no idea. It was immediate. It was a cardiac arrest, if anybody's new here. And I was sitting there thinking about that. You know, am I going to be here Christmas? Are you going to be here Christmas? Is any of us going to be here Christmas? You know, we're not promised tomorrow. Is anybody going to be here tomorrow? I mean, you know, things can happen. We could slip in the night tonight and fall in the shower. I'm just saying scenarios. My point is, we woke up that day, as an example, on Christmas Eve, getting ready for the next day, Christmas, to have the joy of Christmas and getting things ready for that and visiting with family. And he never made it till Christmas. So I want to spend, starting today's day one, I want to get on here on YouTube. If one person hears this, or a million, billion people hears this video, to me, it means so much. Because we are not promised tomorrow. And, you know, any of us could be gone. And I wanted to say, you know, I want, personally myself as an example, and you have to think of your own self for this. How would you want to be remembered? You know, the Christmas season's arriving. You know, I know we got to have Thanksgiving first, but the reason I'm suggesting this, I want to spread, because we never know how long we got. We don't even know if we have to Christmas. I don't know if I have to Christmas. I hope we do. I hope all of us does. But we don't know. He didn't know he didn't have the Christmas Day last year, and it was so close to being Christmas Day, just a few hours away. So my point is, I feel the darkness around everybody's, you know, I know financially things ain't good right now. And, you know, there's so much dark in the world. People's been worried about losing their food stamps. People's been worried about financially because of the cost of living's higher, whether it's rent, house payments. Foods went up. I mean, I understand there is so much struggle in the world. So I feel like there's a dark shadow over everything anymore. And I feel like people's living in that dark shadow. And that concerns me. You know, I hear a lot of people like they don't even care about Christmas. And, you know, I know everybody has a different celebration of Christmas. And I won't go into that. Everybody has their own thing. And I respect that. Personally, I celebrate Jesus' birthday and Christmas. And, you know, we go see Santa Claus, and we like to do the nice Christmas traditions as well. But yes, for me, in my home, Jesus is the reason for the season. So, but that's not the point of this video. My point is, there's such a darkness in the world right now. With everything going on around us. I want to get on here to everybody, and I want to spread love. You know, we still have several weeks left to Christmas. So today's day one. I want to do a video every day till Christmas Eve. And spread some kind of love. You know, some kind of joyful about, you know, the days, for example, tomorrow will be day 2. And I want to talk about spreading love for Christmas. You know, Go out and be kind to your neighbor. Whether it's simple, open a door for somebody. Look at somebody and say, Merry Christmas, even if it's early. Just look at them and say, Christmas is coming soon. Merry Christmas to you. Call your aunt, call somebody and say you love them. Maybe that you ain't talked to in a while. When you go outside, I feel that dark shadow around everything. I don't know if you can feel it. But, and again, I know the cost of living's up. People's losing their food stamps. I'm sure Christmas is going to be a lot shyer for people. But remember, just only besides Christmas, yes, it's Jesus' birthday. And that's what I celebrate. But Christmas is about the spirit, not the presents, not everything else. Whether you go even see Santa, that gives us a spirit inside. Whether you go see Christmas lights, that gives us spirit inside of us to make us just joyful and happy. This is not the reason why I'm not getting into the reasons why we celebrate Christmas, but I want to get in the happiness of Christmas, being happy to other people. Looking at somebody and saying, giving them some kind of joy. As old saying goes, joy to the world. The Lord has come, and all his people too. I mean, think about it. We need joy in the world. We need this happiness. We need the shadow that's around us. Because, I can feel this dark shadow around everybody. And again, I know the world right now is bad. I know things is going on. I know things is going on where it looks gloomier around people. And, people want to save their money. This is not about gift buying. You can be, 100 years ago, people were still happy even if they didn't have a lot of gifts. Even if they had handmade gifts or whatever. This is about joy, happiness, making a child's day. And I'm not talking about gift giving. Just sit there and talk to them about Christmas and just say something nice to them about Christmas. Say something nice to an adult about Christmas. Do something nice for them. Spread the joy. Spread the love. Because, there is just, again, so much unhappiness around. And I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it at all. So I want to get on here and kind of spread things. Yes, I'll be doing my normal videos as well. But today I just had this on my heart. I felt the doom and gloom last year. And of course, but I had a bad situation happen in my family. And I got to thinking, he didn't even make it to Christmas. And so close. And we had it planned. And none of us has promised, we might not be here Christmas for whatever reason. But, we want people to look back at us and look at us and see what kind of person we was inside. Whether they consider us a good person or a bad person. Getting out, I don't care if you're buying somebody behind you their breakfast at McDonald's in the morning or whatever you're doing. Anything, whether it's holding the door open for them. My goodness, spread some joy. Tell them Merry Christmas, even if it's early now. Spread joy. Because I want people to look back on each and every one of us and not see all this dark shadow that's around us right now in the world. We can make it a wonderful brightness, regardless of money, regardless of, what's going on with the economy and elections and blah, blah, or whatever. This ain't nothing about that. This ain't nothing about what we celebrate. We're celebrating the spirit of happiness, the spirit to put back Christmas inside of us. Because that spirit ain't around us right now. And I know I posted a post yesterday about people getting out Black Friday as an example and getting out and being among one another. And I know people like to online shop. That's not what I was getting at. I still think people ought to get around one another if you're around somebody, for example, like Black Friday, it might put you in the spirit of Christmas. Let's get this shadow from around us all. Spread joy. You know, your neighbor might be going through a financial bad shape. They might need a turkey for Thanksgiving. You might have the money to bless them with that. I'm just saying. Even if you had one extra can of green beans in your food pantry that, you have extra, that might be a whole meal for somebody. So, just think about it, There's a lot of things we don't think about. And I'm trying to raise Caleb the same way. Spread happiness. Spread joy. Let's get this Christmas cheer back. Whether you're going to go see some Christmas lights and, with your family and have happiness, joy. Years ago, people would get in a sleigh ride and just get out with their family. They didn't have much money many years ago. My great-grandparents, whatever, they didn't have much money. They might have gotten their sleigh and took a sleigh ride. They still had joy for Christmas. They might have killed a turkey and they might even killed a deer and ate it for Christmas, as far as I know. But they was probably looking very forward to that. They probably didn't have a lot, My family was from a poorer community location many years ago. We're talking about like 1800 Summer Fern. But they still had the joy. My daddy had so much Christmas joy in him. He loved Christmas, even though he wasn't rich in money. But he still loved Christmas. He liked giving things to people. And he'd get in the happiness. His favorite thing was Christmas morning, getting up playing Santa. And just getting out and handing the presents to everybody and reading their names off of it. That brought his joy. And so I just see so much doom. And I know from what happened last year with my husband, we're not promised tomorrow. So we're not promised Christmas this year. He didn't get promised Christmas last year. And I want to be able to share this with you because let's spread happiness and remembered for spreading love and joy. If one person sees this video and you get out in the morning and you buy somebody's breakfast behind you at McDonald's for $5, that spreads some love. Tell that person in the car behind you, Merry Christmas. And that might spread joy in their heart to tell somebody else. You don't know what a chain reaction could cause. To spread the love. But again, I just see so much darkness around. I really feel that love needs to be spread. So please, and again, I'm going to make a daily video about something similar to this. Spread the love, spread the joy. And if you want to share the video, great. If I get just one view of this video, great. If I get a lot of views, great. Because if I make a difference in one person's life, I feel like I've accomplished a mountain. I spread some kind of joy. And maybe that person might spread joy. And maybe that might spread. I hope it spreads like the flu. Because I feel it. I feel this around us this year. So since I do YouTube, I wanted to get on here. And again, do a daily video. Tomorrow will be day 2 of the same similarity. And, I might even get out some. I don't know if I can tomorrow, but get out to show you. I'm going to want to spread love. Let's spread love. Let's spread joy. So I want to tell everybody, Merry Christmas. It's coming soon. Let's spread happiness. And let's get this darkness that's around us right now, all of us, because there is a lot of dark. I can feel it. But let's say Merry Christmas, and let's get some light around us. Bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 2 of Let's Spread Joy and Happiness. It's coming Christmas. And it will be here very soon. We're in November right now. Christmas will be coming. So, again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Day one. Thank you.